Hey, James, did, did you know that the only reason the pyramids are in Egypt is that they're too heavy to take to the British Museum? I knew that would break your brain.
No. It's because there was a similar one, kind of, there was a big crime wave recently, and police said, we're trying to work out where all the artifacts from foreign countries are, and
British Museum.
Some bastards on Blue Sky said British Museum.
That's where most of them are. All the best ones are there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to this month's episode of 3 Do Who, the monthly Doctor Who podcast that asks the question, would you like a jelly baby? With me today are my two favorite Whovian companions, Mike and James. How are you two doing?
Just fine. It's a beautiful, sunny, well, sort of sunny day outside.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Words that gay men have often spoken. I've had major problems with chickens recently.
Okay.
Words that not many gay men have spoken is that I've had to fit one of my chickens with a bra. And every other day I have to wipe the arse of another one of them.
This is why I don't have chickens.
What? Just kill them and eat them if you have to wipe their butt and put a bra on them.
No, one of them, Purdy, her crop is very... technically, the phrase is she has a pendulous crop.
Okay.
Which, so she now got to keep her
So she's
up.
got a crop top now.
She's got a crop top, yeah.
Yes, okay.
And Tara, she's having problems with her feathers. They're being picked at 'cause she's a rescue hen. And originally we had a spray bottle for the medication.
Mm-hmm.
The spray bit isn't working, so basically we're kind of like just bunging it on a piece of cloth every other day and smearing it on the affected spots. But it does mean that every other day I have to wipe medication onto my chicken's arse.
Well.
And I think Mike is now having an aneurysm.
I thought to myself, if I was at a gay bar and I saw some lesbians and said you had a pendulous pendulous crop, I'm sure I would get slapped.
You probably would. You probably would. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get on to some Who news before this gets any more weird.
Oh, come on. We're talking about an episode featuring a living cartoon character, and you're accusing me of being weird?
Yeah, and Who news just gets weirder all the time anyways. But first bit of Who news is Doctor Who Series 15 finale is going to be heading to the cinemas. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be heading to cinemas here unless somebody decides to do that. But so Wish World and the Reality War will be heading to cinemas on Saturday, the 31st of May. The Doctor is returning this spring with a new addition to the TARDIS, Belinda Chandra, which is going to be taking viewers on another journey, which we already know because the season's already started. But as the season draws to its close, fans across the UK and Ireland have the opportunity to come together in cinemas to watch the epic two-part finale on the 31st of May, starting with the penultimate episode, Wish World, and ending with The Reality War, both written by Russell T Davies and directed by Alex Sanjeev Pillai. At least that's the way Google said to pronounce Pillai. Whether or not it's right, I have no idea. Natasha Spence, the events director for BBC Studios, commented, "We're delighted to be partnering with Cinema Live once again and give Doctor Who fans across the UK and Ireland the opportunity to watch their favorite show together. This finale promises to be an amazing ride for Whovians, and we're excited to share the Doctor and Belinda's latest adventures with them on the big screen." So that's pretty much
before I go on to a couple of extra bits, this has really pushed the rumor mill because it is not being, with a finale, Reality War, whatever, is not being released on iPlayer at 8 o'clock in the morning. It is being released when it is shown on the BBC. So, of course, the rumor mill saying, it's because Ncuti's leaving and they want to keep everything a surprise kind of thing. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but I do think they are desperately trying to keep something under wraps.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the rumors that not so much rumors, but the statement from Russell T Davies seeming to indicate that he's stepping back from the show, and that since there's nobody on deck to fill his shoes, that there might be a gap year while we're waiting.
But of course, they haven't announced yet when the War Between Land and Sea is being shown.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be that rather than Doctor Who in 2026, we get a 6-part Doctor Light story. But that's, the possibility. But yeah, it has caused a lot of gossiping that, they're kind of trying to keep the ending so that the whole country sees it pretty much at the same time,
right?
Or there is minimal chance for people to be spoiled for it,
right?
Sticking with season, they call it season 2, don't they?
Yeah.
Right. So Doctor Who magazine is out, the latest issue. They have a further 3 story previews, but just because of the way the dates have fallen, one of them is no longer relevant to us because we saw the episode last night.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have the kind of in a nutshell bits for the next 2 episodes, and then there is a weirdness. Right.
Okay.
So, we've just had, it's May the 4th today, the day that we take the piss out
May
of
the
the
4th be with you.
Yeah. So last night we had Lucky Day, which we'll be talking about in the next episode.
Yeah.
The next one we get in the UK is called The Story and the Engine, which is, of course, the one that they did the throw forward for at the end of last night.
Right.
Lagos in 2019 is an ideal spot to get a bearing on the Vindicator, a vital step to returning Belinda home. While he's there, the Doctor decides to drop in on his old friend Omo, be careful how I pronounce that, who runs a barbershop in the city.
You Omo.
No Omo.
Blissfully unaware that he is falling into a trap, our hero soon finds himself embroiled in a plot for revenge that spans the centuries. Okay. I mean, that sounds a kind of a fairly standard episode description.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, and you look at the kind of the preview that they did for, Lucky Day, and you think, you kept a lot under wraps for that one,
Mm-hmm.
So, but this, we've got a very impressive looking giant spider type thing in it, which we saw in the
Yes.
trailer.
I was kind of intrigued with that one.
I am watching that one with the lights on.
Don't blame you.
And the one thing that kind of is very impressive is that Shooty is yet again wearing a different hairstyle. He changes his hairstyle as much as he changes his clothes.
Yes, and speaking of, I know it's a little bit early, but the Lucky Day, that coat he was wearing looked awful familiar.
I'd say there's going to be a lot to say about Lucky Day.
Yeah.
And not necessarily when you think we're going to say it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And the one after that is the Interstellar Song Contest.
Yes. The one I'm waiting for.
Now, before I read you the in a nutshell bit, it is worth pointing out that Big Finish have already done a big Interstellar Song Contest episode.
But was Graham Norton in it?
No, but someone was doing a very bad Terry Wogan impression.
Oh, okay.
Right. So whether or not there are going to be any similarities is difficult to say. Right. It's 29/25 and the biggest night of the year. 3 trillion life forms from 40 million planets are watching the Interstellar Song Contest, broadcast live from the Harmony Arena space station. The Doctor and Belinda are looking forward to an evening of fun, but someone is planning to hijack the event, putting everyone's lives in danger. Meanwhile, out in the audience, events take an unexpected turn for Mrs. Flood.
Interesting, because usually she's on top of everything.
Now, it's going to get even weirder. So, this is issue 616, I think it is. I've lost track of issues of Doctor Who magazine. I lost track around issue 300.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah. So scrolling right to the end of the issue. Scrolling.
It's a big issue.
Scrolling. It's 84 pages and my screen is small.
He's got a lot of
Right.
issues.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, next issue. On sale from 22nd of May. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The Truth About Mrs. Flood.
Ooh.
Now, bearing in mind that we haven't had episode previews for Wish World or the Reality War,
Mhm.
and bearing in mind what they just said about Mrs. Flood in the audience, I'm wondering if, the traditional end of season reveal might actually be coming a little bit early.
It's
Hmm.
possible. I mean,
And, I'm kind of wondering if we're going to have a Utopia type situation where it wasn't advertised as being the first of a 3-part story.
but it
is it going
is.
to end on a
Yeah.
cliffhanger leading into the Reality War type double feature?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. It seems like they are ramping up the Mrs. Blood
Yes.
stuff that's going on, because she's become less enigmatic and more kind of sinister.
And say they're not doing a Susan twist and trying to keep it low key.
No.
They're
no.
kind of pointing big neon arrows at her,
Right.
saying, "Here's Mrs. Flood this week."
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like in the early episodes where you could actually almost miss her little appearance.
Yeah. And then, right, on a very low-key note, but high-key for this particular podcast, the exhibition in Peterborough of
Yes.
Doctor Who props and memorabilia has opened. It opened on Friday.
Mhm.
And so next month, along with another batch of episode reviews and everything, there will be a big feedback on it because I've already booked my tickets for it.
Yay!
It
Nice.
lasts until November, though, so kind of, don't think that you're going to miss out, That,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to miss out because I doubt I'm going to be able to make it there by November.
Yeah.
It's kind of an expensive trip to.
Well, never
to
say
go.
never. You don't know what's going to
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I doubt I'm going to be able to afford it.
Probability is low.
Yes.
And the other thing, just to really, wind up collectors out there, Target novelizations. Some of them you see in charity and thrift shops all the time.
Mhm.
Other ones, for various reasons, which had very low print runs and stuff, can go for vast amounts on eBay. The kind of the ultimate prize is one called The Wheel in Space.
Mhm.
So next month, Doctor Who Magazine are pissing off all collectors, and they're giving away a brand new printing of The Wheel in Space.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, instantly devalue everything.
Yeah.
Right. So we have 3 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and then a tangentially related biggest coincidence on the planet bit for the trivia at the end.
Yes. All right. So I guess let's just get right into our 3 episodes. So Mike, you're up first because you got the first episode.
I got the first episode. Now, I know that this episode was pretty heavily panned by many critics and fans, but it wasn't a bad story.
No, I thought it was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it had some loose explanations of things like, oh, that's just a timey-wimey thing, and
I'm thinking, bearing in mind this is Russell T Davies, that we will be seeing that certificate again.
Oh, I think so.
More
too.
likely, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a loose explanation. I think it's I'll explain later kind of.
Yeah. I mean, and I actually watched it again this morning to brush up on it, and they still never really quite explained why they went and picked up Al in the first place. After she said, "You need Al Bund," and then they went back across the time
They went
threshold.
to collect him, but slipped back through the crack in time, so picked him up early.
Yeah. So, and then the crack in time reminded me a lot of the Matt Smith fracture in time deal that was overarching the entire series that he was on.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud, and I had to go back and watch it several times when they shot the cat And Robot said the cat was irrelevant. The cat is irrelevant.
Do you know what really bugs me?
What's that?
When that episode was shown, social media was full of, "Oh my god, they killed the cat." And it's like, hold on, the doctor shorted out the power supply for an entire freaking hospital.
Yes.
Right.
And no one complained.
Nobody complained.
You kill one cat.
Mm-hmm. And that's why the cat is irrelevant, you see.
Yeah.
And, can we talk about the doctor's choice of a long kilt over pants? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Either wear pants or wear a kilt.
Wear a
Don't put
kilt.
them together.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, it's like...
They don't go together.
I'm kind of thinking that Shooty probably would have just worn the kilt, and he probably would have worn it as a Scotsman.
Yes.
And the show would have been taken off air.
Yep.
Yeah, but
well, you never see the hang down, so it's okay.
No.
It's a long one. I mean, it's
as
almost
long as he's got a sufficiently weighty sporran, he's going to be fine. That's what it's for, is to keep your bits from showing.
Yeah.
So I'm remembering a classic. The Two Doctors. The one where Pat Troughton, as second Doctor, returns to join up with the Sixth, and his companion Jamie is there as well.
Right.
And they do an additional take, which wasn't in the show, and Jamie is strapped down to the table, and Nicola Bryant leads the camera around to a very unrehearsed camera angle.
Oh, no. That's why pants with the kilt.
That's why.
Okay, now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know.
All right. It was all Jamie's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think that they put too much comic relief into this episode with the
the Wally polish robot. It was cute.
You mean
in
the
Wally.
gadget polish robot?
Yes, but
gadget.
It's
the new K9.
Yeah.
Because
it still reminded me of the robot from Wally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
yeah,
it was just interesting.
With them? Did they take the robot with them?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure whether they took it with them.
No, they left it in the hallway, and then Belinda went back and reactivated it, and that's what when she realized people were getting killed because of her.
Right, but when they left the planet,
then it swept up Mr. Incel once he'd been generated into.
Yeah.
He's just a sperm and an egg. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oops.
So, talk about going back in time. I would say that they did a good job on the CGI graphics, and I mean, it's not clearly the old exterminate kind of a get rid of them, but it's the same trope. All of the laser weapons in most of the Doctor Who always just makes you vaporize. Like Romulan disruptors.
Which is it's problematic because the amount of energy that it would take to vaporize somebody, and the amount of water that's in the standard human body, vaporizing at that instant would cause a massive pressure wave of steam. It's not a great thing. I don't know why they even Star Trek continues with these disintegrations.
It's the fact that you can always see the bloody beam that pees me off.
The beam. And then
it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean,
what I would say though, in defense of its use in Robot Revolution, is they had very deliberately gone for the 1950s sci-fi.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
So I think actually having 50s sci-fi type laser effects,
especially
was fine for that story.
The red and yellow on this rocket ship, and it was very quirky and that whole thing.
Beautiful.
It was very 50s.
Traditional 50s-ish. It's like that.
It was pretty neat. I did enjoy the aesthetic.
I just loved the whole look of it. I mean, it made me laugh. Let's say kind of, Planet of the Incels. Yes, everything.
Right.
Oh, by the way, just going back to last month's episode of this, Alan is one of the Torchwood regulars.
Oh, okay.
Or the actor, rather.
Right, okay.
Not Alan himself. I
don't
think anyone in Torchwood is ever going to be an incel.
No, no. They get more sex than is prescribed for the actual human being.
Yeah. But he is one of the regulars in the ongoing Torchwood series.
Oh, okay.
And he is actually both of the stars of the one that is coming out this month, May.
Oh, well, cool.
Okay.
Very nice.
So, nice little link there.
And can I have an X-ray blanket, please? Please.
Oh gosh, that is so cool. That was a very cool,
That was very cool.
little
Yeah.
tech thing, I thought.
Yep. And
I was sitting there going, yeah, makes no sense scientifically. I absolutely love it. But could you just lower it down very slightly?
I doubt it was actually X-ray. There was a I think it was Red Planet that pulled a similar feat off with the terahertz imagers.
Mm-hmm.
And since they're starting to use terahertz imaging in all kinds of things, it's much less dangerous than X-rays, and it's much more precise.
Yeah.
Now,
so
I've got
really cool.
a question for you, which is going to tie in with not just Robot Revolution, but all of the episodes this season. Oh, Eric has gone dark.
He's been having that issue.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the raccoon is trying to get back in.
Yeah, he'll try.
Just imagine some intermission music going on in your head,
and then we'll see a message that says that a new track is being recorded for him.
Oh God!
He had that happen on our other recording last week too.
Yeah, because I've actually, funny enough, I've got another question about new tracks as well. In some ways, one of the things that has been said, not just about the episodes in season 2, but also some of the ones from last season, is that they do have very familiar sci-fi type feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that, Eric is saying that, they pull the terahertz blanket thing in, other science fiction stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There is a suggestion. I've seen, it's one I believe, and, I've seen a lot of people say it as well. Mrs. Flood is the goddess of fiction.
Oh.
So we've had, Maestro, goddess of music, Sutek, god of death, Lux, god of light.
Mm-hmm.
Suggestion is that, Mrs. Flood is the goddess of fiction. So do we reckon that actually, I say, especially like the aesthetics of Robot Revolution and the familiarity of the look and everything is because she is drawing on human fiction?
Could be.
I say, a lot of people said that, there was a lot of traditional stories in season 1, even untraditional Doctor Who episodes like 73 Yards was a traditional fairy story with the Doctor being taken out because of the fairy ring and everything, yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So there's an interesting idea that, Mrs. Flood is actively kind of putting him in familiar situations.
Could be. I mean, and we'll clearly, the third episode gives a little more insight into Mrs. Flood and in the well. So,
and I say the other bit that ties in with that is, you remember last year they did those tales from the TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
I know the second Doctor doesn't have huge numbers of stories existing to choose from, but they did choose the one about the land of fiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they did the Tales of the TARDIS to time with Sutek.
Well, I mean, Davis is nothing if not pulling from the libraries of the past.
Yeah, I mean, he's very environmentally friendly on that front, I think is the polite way of putting it.
Yep. And I have to say, Crazy Alan is a wee bit controlling. I loved the scene where he was proposing to her, and he says, like, no texting after 8, and you will not wear clothes outside.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's like, okay. And she's like, oh, hell no. No.
If you do want to see how the actor kind of, looks when he isn't being Mr. Incel, then say kind of, he plays Tyler in Torchwood, and he does look damn good. I know some of the people who write for Torchwood. I was chatting to one of them the other day and says, yeah, he's really sexy. And I'm thinking, God, don't rub it in. Yeah, right. We get the hint. Yeah, you work with him, Yeah.
I'll have to tune into the new Torchwood and see what it's all about.
I'll say there's so much of it, and the character Tyler, he turns up not initially in the kind of the standalone monthly ranges, but when they go over to kind of Aliens Among Us, Gods Among Us, and Among Us, that's when he basically jumps on as one of the team.
Nice.
What do we do about about the raccoon having kind of like dark bags over his entire camera?
I don't know, but I'll finish up my thing, and then he can work on the editing. And I did like the final moment of it's bigger on the inside, and that Belinda is clearly a pragmatist, and she's like, "Nope, you're taking me home, and that's it. There's no negotiating, nothing." And then, of course, which is good for the Doctor because she's a powerful woman. She's a strong, powerful woman. And she's going to tell the Doctor what to do.
Oh, the raccoon is back.
Okay.
And the raccoon is back.
Yes. I'm sorry about that. It even took my mic away.
No,
my
he's
mic
in the
quit
middle
working.
of my screen.
Not that mic. The other mic. All right. Let's see here.
All right.
And of course now my script is missing.
Yeah. And
there we go.
And I was just finishing up. We just went ahead and drove on without you there, Rain.
Yeah.
So.
I heard a lot of it. I was trying to get my mic and camera back without it leaving the studio, but unfortunately it was not.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that for some reason, May the 24th is very repelling. And I hope that we get to bounce over it this May the 24th.
And time to count on your fingers.
Yes, 9 words.
May the 24th
yes.
is not the broadcast date of the season finale.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's the broadcast date of Wish World.
Okay.
Which again has thrown a lot of interesting speculation into the chatosphere.
Yeah, and there's something going on May 24th, but I guess we'll find out. Wait to find out, shan't we?
Yeah.
Because even the closing credits, they clearly made sure the Earth was gone. Which when I watched it the first time, I was like, why is all the stuff in space? And now having gone to the third episode, I know why. So
yeah.
Oh. And then every 9th word, that was kind of. I remember the first time I watched it, I was counting on my fingers after he started talking.
Right.
And that is
that would be
a very, very, very
that would have like screwed my brain up trying to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to keep track of it. It's like that was written perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah, and
that I mean also unusually. I could believe that because I'm thinking the number of really messed up computer viruses there were in the old days that kind of did weird things just to Word documents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I could actually believe that, someone had messed around so that probably every 9th word was ignored.
Yep. Why not? Sure. So,
anyway.
So that's it for my take on the robot revolution.
Nice.
The cat.
Yeah, I'd have to say. Yeah, the cat is irrelevant. That's what they should have
named it. They should have called it "The Cat is Irrelevant." That should have been the episode name.
I was thinking they should have named it "The Doctor's No Pussy." Anyway,
The Doctor's No Pussy, or Doctor Who meets the Borg.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a crossover episode waiting to happen right there.
Yeah. So I have Lux, which is the 2nd episode of Shooty's 2nd season. I think that we're finally getting to see Shooty hit his stride as the Doctor. The episode introduces another member of the Pantheon of Discord, Lux Imperador, who takes the form of a cartoon character called Mr. Ring-a-Ding, Don't Make Me Laugh, voiced by Alan Cumming.
Now, I have to say, I wasn't looking forward to this episode because I thought it was going to be so over-the-top camp and bad, but I was pleasantly surprised with how well they did it.
Yeah, me too. And I was looking forward to it because I'm a huge fan of cartoons and real life together. I mean, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is like one of my favorite movies ever.
Oh, that is God standard animation crossover.
Yeah, the animation was fantastic, and I thought they did a good job in this one. It was pretty good.
They did a very good job.
The visual jokes were pleasing and tickled my brain in a way that I thought was really cute. I liked the whole, trying to pull the frames down.
Yeah.
Yes,
that was cute.
So the Doctor and Belinda land in the early morning in Miami in 1952 near an ominously locked theater to deploy the Vindicator, a vortex indicator that the Doctor believes will allow them to lock into 2025 and reel the TARDIS to 2025 like a fish.
Specifically May 24th.
Yes. 3 months prior to their arrival, 15 people disappeared without a trace in the theater, which is why it had been locked. Of course, the Doctor couldn't leave a mystery alone, so he and Belinda break into the theater, and in short order, they meet the reason why the disappearances happened, Mr. Ring-a-Ding, a living cartoon who has left the screen. Mr. Ring-a-Ding reveals that he is the reason for all the disappearances, and then traps the Doctor and Belinda in the theater screen as cartoons. In the process of escaping, Doctor Who, strike that, reverse that. In the process of escaping, Doctor and Belinda meet the people who know the Doctor and Belinda as fictional characters. This part of the episode really kind of brings home one of the great things about Doctor Who, in my opinion, how it brings people together and makes long-lasting friendships. I mean, I wouldn't have quite a few of my friends if it wasn't for Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't ruin the rest of the episode if you haven't seen it, and what's wrong with you if you haven't. But I will say it's been one of my favorite episodes so far in Ncuti's run as the Doctor. The effects were fun and well done. The story was good, and it made me remember that Doctor Who isn't just a show, it's a family, because Doctor Who, I've met the best friends anyone could ever ask for, you two. Of course, also Alex, and well, you're Alex as well, because both of you have Alexes. And that's why I continue to watch it, even when some of these stories aren't great. Even though sometimes the stories aren't fantastic, it still brings friends together. And that's pretty much my little thing of Lux. I thought it was a pretty feel good episode to, that kind of made, brought home the point that, the fans are what make it.
Very impressed as well that they didn't overdo the racism element.
Yes, I was worried about that because they've gone a little heavy-handed with that. And Miami in 1950s would have been fucking miserable.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that, again, I was actually going to ask because, of course, 50s England is very different from 50s USA. So, from the American point of view, how did the kind of the reality of that side of it come across?
I thought it was a little too sweet in certain parts when they went into the diner. I like, even though it was late at night and that kid behind the counter may have been an ally, most allies were very afraid to in public be allied. To me, a young kid like that would probably not have, risked being, ostracized or, in fact, associated with being an ally. So that kind of, I thought, was a little bit too oversweetened.
Right. Okay.
But other than that, I mean, the rest of it was pretty well done.
Yeah. That's something, because being in England, we've always got the very kind of like the Hollywood version of it. We've got the kind of, the textbook version of it. But I always, when they do finally kind of go to other countries, it's, getting the input from the people in those countries. It's just like, okay, that's because the one thing that kind of, again, social media decided without any kind of direct evidence was that, interesting choice of the word ally there. They reckon that the guy behind the counter was gay. He did seem a bit. He
looked like he'd help out in a rush.
Oh yeah, I don't think there even need to be a rush, but
right.
But it's interesting that kind of like a lot of people picked up on that and assumed that that's why he did it. Because he was used to being kind of
on the outside looking in.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is a lot of kind of truth to that. I mean, because we were both at that time, and both groups at that time period were pretty scared, and I think there were a lot of gay people who were more willing to be kind.
It's great to hear you actually say that kind of like They'd sweetened it a bit for Doctor Who, but
Yeah.
there were other aspects which were good. Yeah. Oops. Hold on.
James has lost his ears. Oh no.
No, I've sorry. On a completely separate note, these are really cheap things, but they give great sound quality. But I reckon the inside of my ears are really weird shapes.
Yeah,
because I
have the same problem.
I can never get earbuds to stay in comfortably. I'm going to go back to the Cybermen ones next month.
Yeah, I have the same problem, which is why I have the hook style because otherwise they fall out on me all the time.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lux was brilliant. I mean, Alan Cumming is brilliant anyway.
Oh yeah, great voicing. I thought he played a cartoon, and I hate to say, I felt like Lux wasn't nearly as evil as the rest of the Pantheon of Discord.
No,
I think he was just
until he became 3D. At which point I was going, that's going to give kids nightmares. Excellent.
Yeah. I just kind of felt like he wasn't quite as like sadistic and evil as the rest of them.
Yeah.
It seemed to me like he had some soft moments as well, especially bringing back the projectionists, dead wife.
Yeah.
I thought that was oddly sweet for one of the Pantheon.
So how many gods
I
are
loved
in the
it.
Pantheon?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
There's quite a few though, and they are now aware of the Doctor killing. I mean,
they started to list them in Empire of Death, but
we
have no idea if the list was full. And as Mike and I were discussing whilst you were temporarily in a blackout, there is a lot of people think that Mrs. Flood is the goddess of fiction.
Yeah, no, I did hear that part, and I think that could be true. Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's Lux did not seem before he started. Before they opened the roof and basically started giving him as much light as he could handle. Yes. I didn't feel like he was that evil. I just felt like he was kind of
he seemed
confused. Like a kid, like confused, a confused kid. Yeah. He thought, in my head, I kind of think he thought he was saving them.
Yeah.
It was really weird. I got a weird feeling from that character that, he wasn't nearly as bad as the rest of the Pantheon. Because, I mean, like our dear beloved Jinx, I thought her character was massively evil played.
Yes.
No sense at all of empathy or compassion for anyone but herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas Lux, I think, had a little bit of empathy, and I don't know if that's because he was made of light or not. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Or because he was being held prisoner by the projectionist and was doing a deal to get all the movie films.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird, but he did seem more compassionate than any of the other Pantheon.
All right.
Okay.
So that brings us to the well.
Or, as I'm going to explain it now, I feel it should be called the well, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes. More attempts with the Vindicator to get Belinda home. And it did result in one of my favourite cold openers. Departing the TARDIS in a spacesuit, finding themselves heading down to a planet the quick way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And, I mean, the only thing that could have made that more perfect was if they had managed to scream slightly closer to the pitch of that opening note of the theme music.
Yes.
I mean, the famous story, Bonnie Langford as Mel, when she was in the show in the 80s, for basically her first cliffhanger, she had to let rip with a massive scream. And John Nathan Turner, the producer, said, Bonnie, can you scream in the key of F, please? So it merges into the
to this theme, yes.
Nice. Nice.
And yes, arriving on the planet and finding that they have 5 hours before the ship will come down.
Right.
They discover that there is a base with 1 survivor, or maybe 2, or maybe 3. There's a little bit of debate about this.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in kind of a bit reminiscent to Turn Left, it wasn't so much there was something on her back, but there was something behind her. And yes, it transpires that it is a planet that the Doctor has visited before, a creature that the Doctor has met before, but the creature has evolved, and there's a whole new way of messing with people's minds.
Yeah, and the Doctor was scared to death of that creature before coming back.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's more scared of the creature behind the creature.
So, brilliantly, and again, a kind of a minor but important plot point, the sole survivor was death. Which meant that we had some brilliant use of technology. I
want one of those.
Yeah, I think that was brilliant. There's been a lot of questions raised about kind of like, so if the Earth doesn't exist, apart from all the crap it does to the timelines, why are they all signing in British Sign Language?
Well,
TARDIS is translating.
TARDIS was translating, yes.
Yeah.
The only worry for me is, if the TARDIS is going to start translating hand gestures, I'm going to be very careful what hand gestures I make behind people's back in case they think that I'm suddenly shouting it at them. And yes, the Doctor has to deal not just with the evil of the creature, although whether it's evil is again open to interpretation, but also with a troop of very aesthetically pleasingly attired space marines.
Oh my goodness.
I think a big hand, a big award, and every award for the person who put Shooty in that outfit.
Oh my God, Shooty's booty in that outfit was chef's kiss.
The cutie Shooty booty.
Cutie Shooty booty, yes. Oh my goodness, it was glorious.
I won't give away the ending because there are different interpretations of it.
Yes.
But, yes, the Doctor has to find a way not just to deal with the creature, but with the prejudices of the people around him.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a sequel, an evolved sequel, and a very open-ended one. Because, as I said, there are a few tiny background details in certain scenes which do suggest that the ending is not what we all thought.
Right.
It was brilliant, though. I mean, the atmosphere in it was...
Oh, it was fantastic. I had one niggling little problem with
What'd you call me?
One of their solutions. I had a little problem with one of the solutions in the episode, namely the fact that by shooting those molten mercury lines to create the mirror behind the creature, you would have immediately poisoned everybody in the vicinity, because mercury, when it's vaporized, when it's hot and steaming like that, is putting off a lot of toxic vapor, and none of them were wearing any masks during that scene.
I think it depends. Because my reading of it, because I mean, I did worry about the kind of the Mad Hatter syndrome.
Oh yeah.
My reading of it though was that she cracked the pipe, and so there wouldn't have been that much mercury vapor around. It would all have been in liquid form once the pipe was cracked and started pouring out. I did wonder about that. I mean, the mercury mirror looked fantastic, but it wasn't.
Oh, it did,
but it wasn't particularly kind of in focus, and so I was wondering, kind of would it have been sufficiently reflective? But it's Doctor Who,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
And it was, all of the performances, and as I said, the new method that the creature has for disposing of people and messing with their minds was incredibly well played out.
Yes.
A lot of people guessed that it was a sequel, but they didn't.
I had immediately.
They didn't realize which one it was going to be a sequel to.
I had a feeling that it was the sequel to Midnight. So,
because it was also the location used for Power of the Doctor.
Yeah.
And it also bore a very strong visual relation to the quarry they used in Satan Pit and Impossible Planet.
Mm.
So there were quite a few where kind of visually it could have been set.
Well, Doctor Who, every planet is a quarry.
Yeah. And I said, I'm not going to say too much about the ending because, it's very open to interpretation. There's lots of very small details in there which people are arguing over and debating.
Yes.
So, it's a difficult one to comment on the ending of, except that, lovely post-sequence. And just exactly where did Mrs. Flood get a Star Trek uniform from?
Mm-hmm.
I am not sure, but she looked good in it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say.
Given how old Anita Dobson is.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Can I tell you the wonderful Anita Dobson story that was put on the net?
Of course.
Sure.
Go for it.
Well, it's not really wonderful. It's lovely. But so first of all, you know who her husband is, yeah?
I do not.
Brian May from Queen.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I'm serious.
Wow.
Okay.
They've been married
Very
for
cool.
decades. I mean,
that's
really.
very cool.
And Anita Dobson came to prominence in the UK in the 80s in a very famous soap opera called EastEnders.
Mm-hmm.
And she even got into the pop charts with a sung version of the EastEnders theme, because the EastEnders theme is an instrumental for the soap opera, but
Right.
she got into the and it was like, oh my god, it was awful. It's like, who the fuck is buying this? And someone finally confessed that they knew Brian May, and they'd gone into his kind of office and seen boxes of thousands of copies of this single that he had bought so that his wife could be in the pop charts.
Yeah, it's funny because most television theme songs that are instrumental started out as sung by usually actors on the show and quickly were completely nixed. We're talking Bonanza, MASH, which, wasn't sung by one of the show actors, but was actually sung by the producer's son, if I remember right. The producer told him to write the silliest song he could think of, and that was the one he wrote. Was the S word is easy.
Yeah,
It's pain, and it was
or painless. I'm sorry.
It was part of the movie. It was integral to the movie because one of the characters wanted to commit the S word.
Yes.
So it was a very somber song. In the movie, it was the tempo was slower. It was more operatic. So
but it's like I said, it's a lot of these where they had initially wanted them sung and they were just horrible. The actors were just not capable of doing it. I mean, there are a few exceptions, like the Fall Guy was one where Lee Majors did a good job singing that.
But as I said, Anita Dobson
also had words.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, but that was for copyright reasons.
Yes.
Yeah. That was so it could be registered as a song rather than the theme music.
Yes.
But if you go to YouTube, Anita Dobson, Anyone Can Fall in Love, EastEnders theme. Don't wear earphones, wear earplugs.
Play it on mute.
Yeah.
Use the closed captioning.
So there's notes that only whales can hear. Is that what you're saying?
No, but there will be wailing from the people who are listening.
Okay.
I was wondering, are you talking about Wales in England?
No.
The part of England, or are you talking about the mammals? Okay, the mammals.
And sorry, just because I know there will be international. Yeah, Wales is part of the UK.
Yes,
Wales is not part of England.
I apologize. It's still early for me.
If you say that Wales is part of England, they will come and pronounce one of their counties to you, and you will drown in the flame.
Yes. Nobody understands the Welsh except the Welsh, and I don't think even they do.
So that's my comments on the well.
All right.
Okay. Well, then that means it's time for some trivia.
Right. And today we have, again, one of the most bizarre coincidences. Okay. So you'll remember, not last edition, but the edition before,
You expect me to remember 2 weeks back or 2 months back? Sure.
Yeah. I ran through some of the global events that have happened whilst the series has been on air. Because it was the March installment and it was the 20th anniversary of Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Last month, my uvula was swollen. I was choking to death, if you remember, by the time that we finished recording. And so rather than kind of do the second bit of it last month, I knocked it forward to this month.
Mm-hmm.
So it is May the 4th today, and last night we saw Doctor Who Lucky Day, which was all about... Oh, have you not seen it yet, Mike?
No, but go on. All
right.
Yeah. I'm sorry when you do watch it.
Which basically at one point featured accusations that UNIT was fake and that all the alien invasions was fake. So I have a list for you of everything from 20... Because last time when I did this, we finished with the end of the universe from the Big Bang, 2010. So I've now got 2010 to 2025. All of the events that have happened.
So and I'm wondering, was he hanging out with Donna through this whole thing?
Right.
Because she's the only other person who hasn't seen these invasions that have taken place.
Right, just before... I have got... This is 15 years worth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 things. There was only 1 year I could not find a major event for. Right. Are we ready for this?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Okay, so you'll be pleased to hear that in 2010, after the universe was destroyed, the universe was re-remembered thanks to Amy's crack or something.
Yeah. She did have a glorious crack.
Yes.
Yeah. In 2010, and I had to cheat a little bit for the first two, in the Sarah Jane Adventure story, The Empty Planet,
which I
every
just watched
single
again.
person bar 3 are taken off the Earth. Which again makes you wonder how many plane crashes there were, how many power stations blew up. They never seem to think of that kind of thing.
No.
But it was implied that kind of the people who were taken off might have known that they were taken off the planet. So, Okay, so that was 2010. In 2011, there was an entire month when no bugger died. Torchwood Miracle Day.
Yeah, Miracle Day.
Okay, that's a bit of a difficult one because that would have been very globally acknowledged as we
you would
saw
think.
in Torchwood Miracle Day.
Yes.
A minor one for 2012 was that somehow, and so this is an episode I absolutely hated at the time, somehow no one in America noticed the Statue of Liberty walking around all the time because it was actually a giant angel.
Because the Ghostbusters did it first. But
yeah. But more importantly,
that's why they didn't notice.
But more importantly, in 2012, everyone in the London Olympic Stadium disappeared. The disappearance was commented on by the commentary team. Ooh, let's not mention what happened about that. To the extent where the Doctor then reappeared and lit the Olympic flame. So big global event commentated on television, but apparently that was just UNIT having a laugh. Right. In 2013, huge numbers of people disappeared from the planet thanks to alien Wi-Fi. Bells of St. John.
Yes.
Right. 2014, and this one lasts not just for 1 or 2 days. This was an entire global thing for months on end. What happened in Power of 3?
Oh God, you're asking me to remember stuff, and I'm blanking now.
That was when all those little black cubes appeared.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay.
And so kind of again, that was a UNIT. Right. I cheated a little bit for 2015 because this is something that started in 2015 and then kind of is still ongoing. We have literally millions of Zygons living on the planet. According to Zygon Invasion, Zygon Inversion, okay. But that was 2015. That was when that all started.
I'm still, speaking of the Zygons, I am still puzzled why we have not caught back up with Osgood yet. Have they done it in the books or the audios?
Oh, she's been in the audios.
Okay.
It's very complicated. The duplicate of Osgood has only been in one of the audios, but Osgood herself has been in dozens, because Unit under Kate Lethbridge-Stewart had its own spin-off series of about 12 boxes.
Right. That's been kind of one of those things that I really want to know what's going on with her and the duplicate.
It's complicated, and unfortunately, because it was Big Finish, they probably can't do too much of it in the TV series. 2016 has got two things. Full marks for either of you if you get both of them. Two things popped out of the ground globally and then just disappeared again without somehow causing any damage to the ground or people commenting on it ever again.
I am drawing blanks.
Okay. First one was in the Forest of the Night. Billions of trees emerged all over. And then went back into the ground without damaging the concrete or anything. And then in the same year, pretty much every dead body on the planet emerged as a Cyberman, thanks to...
Yes, okay. I do remember that now, yes.
It's just like, God. Okay.
I must have been hanging out with Donna.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like anyone recorded all this on mobile phone footage. Oh, shit, because in 2017, we even saw people record on the phone the global phenomenon of nearly 4,200 planes freezing in the sky. Magician's Apprentice and, Oh, God. I mean, I've been having a debate with someone about this. And they said, oh, but the classic series, you had, dinosaurs in London and stuff. And I said, yeah, but no one had bloody phone cameras in their pocket to whip out and, you say you can deny what people are saying. But yeah, when the show actually shows school kids uploading footage of the planes freezing to their blogs, you've got to question how the hell we don't realise.
Right.
Okay. Now, two really unusual ones, because these come from the Classic series.
Okay.
Classic series was very sensible. It stopped doing large global invasions because, of course, it realised that everyone would want to talk about them. So they set all of the invasions of Earth and everything nicely in the future, except the future's caught up with them.
Well, as it does.
Because in the 1960s story, The Enemy of the World, apparently in 2018, the world is basically run by a global dictator called Salamander. The world is split up into world zones, and Salamander just so happens to be the exact duplicate of the Second Doctor. The Enemy of the World, it was one of the stories that they kind of rediscovered. They'd lost it all bar one episode. They found it again, and it went up in fans' estimation because it turned out it was actually really good. But so that story was explicitly in 2018 when the world was ruled over by this dictator, as opposed to the real one where we're ruled over by a dick. Okay. And even more impressive, in 2020... according to the 1960s story, Power of the Daleks, we were already colonizing other planets. Power of the Daleks was set on... Oh, now here's the controversial one. Was set on the world called... It begins with V.
Dang it. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't... Vulcan, yes.
Vulcan, yeah.
Yes.
There's always been the debate about the fact that kind of Star Trek and Doctor Who named planets Vulcan at more or less the same time. But all of the paperwork...
Well, I mean, those Romans and Greeks really got around.
All of the paperwork and promotion in 1966 for Power of the Daleks basically said in 2020 we have a colony on the distant world of Vulcan. Which bizarrely is also a story based around Mercury, as in the silver stuff from the world. Right. Back to modern series for the remaining ones. In 2021, the British PM is killed on camera by a Dalek.
Mm.
So, of course, UNIT faked her assassination, faked her having to be replaced, faked all the Dalek. Oh my god, this guy's, and when I say this guy's mad, I don't mean Conrad, I mean RTD. In 2022, there was a really fun one. And I'm sorry, but, this one is so pretentious that it would have been all over the freaking net. What was defaced in 2022?
No, wait a minute. Wasn't it... What was it?
It was paintings. The master
Yes.
The master put himself into so many world-famous paintings, but of course, that was UNIT as well, obviously an office piss-up. Right. And in 2023, we have two, one of which was very London-centric, the giant spaceship taking off and practically destroying London, which, of course, no one saw. But so that was 2023. 2023 as well was when planes started dropping out of the sky, and everyone went absolutely mad because of the Celestial Toymaker.
Yes.
But again, that was all so I really, I cannot believe. It's got to the stage where I want Doctor Who to leave the Earth behind.
Almost at some point it would be better. Just stop.
Because since 2005, there have been something like 20 large-scale, 20 or more large-scale alien invasions of Earth. And I know people were in denial about COVID. I know there are people who think the Earth is flat and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But to come up with conspiracy theories for 22 or so alien invasions, some years you've got two of the bloody things,
Yeah.
But what really bugs me is that up until last night, all of these things had been apparently successfully covered up and everything. Yet apparently in, Lucky Day, suddenly everyone already believed in all of these things. It's just like, could we please have a step away from Earth so that we do not have multiple alien invasions every year? Because the one that really bugs me is the fact that last year, Empire of Death, everyone turned to sand.
Yes.
Everyone was brought back to life. And people remembered dying. It's just like,
Yep.
If you're going to make it a plot point or a character development point that people remember dying, could they please remember dying the next time we see them as well?
Right. Yeah.
Rant over. I'll step down from my soapbox now.
Well, and I kind of agree with you. I think that... and most of these invasion stories are not particularly the best of the stories to begin with.
Oh, and just to make it clear, those are the global ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those are just the ones from television. If I wanted to...
Oh,
yeah.
No.
and
don't use your powers for evil, please.
there's the time when the Cybermen polluted the environment with emotion-enhanced rain so that everyone wanted their emotions removed, and we've forgotten about that. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it's...
We forgot about our dogs coming down and protecting the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, between 2 episodes ago and tonight, that's over 20 alien invasions in 20 years that apparently we have either all forgotten about or all suddenly remembered, depending upon Schrodinger's RTD.
Yes.
I'm gonna surmise that it's the what do they call it? Not the chameleon circuit, but the thing that makes
Perception filter.
Perception filter. So
But that only extends a certain amount around the
73
TARDIS.
yards, strangely
Yes.
enough.
73 yards. But you see,
Yeah.
because he spins, it spins it out all the way around the Earth because it spins really fast and it shoots that out all over like a sprinkler. You see,
Mm,
and then you forget about what happened.
the perception sprinkler.
It's a perception sprinkler. Yeah.
For that sprinkler, you win gold.
Yes.
Mm.
Eric, are you having problems?
No.
A golden
No.
sprinkler? Wait a minute.
Damn it, James.
Oh, come on. At least I was doing a crossword clue the other night. So I've taken to doing crosswords. There's an app, and they actually, it's not supposed to be pop culture ones, but there's loads of pop culture in it,
Yeah.
including those Doctor Who ones. But is it Iran where they used to be ruled by shahs?
Yes, I believe so.
And I'm just thinking, so if Trump took over, would that make him the Golden Shah?
Well, we know he likes them,
Yes. Yeah.
according to the Russians.
And he has
Yes.
a golden shower curtain.
Mm.
My sister calls him Schmuck à l'orange. Schmuck
Oh,
à l'orange.
nice.
Yes.
Right, Mr. Stevens, remind me what we've got planned for next month.
Yes,
so that I
please.
can...
All right, next month we're doing the next 3 in the story. I mean, or in the arc, which of course is going to be Lucky Day.
Should we do, I'm just thinking, should we do 4 rather than 3?
Yeah, we could do the 4.
Yeah,
Let's
because I
do the
mean,
4.
otherwise we're going to start drifting way behind. You know?
Yeah, let's do the 4. We'll figure out a way to split it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll do those and
And I
discuss our feelings about them.
I promise not to to rip Doctor Who continuity to pieces too much.
Yeah.
The thing about
So
the thing about Doctor Who continuity is there is none, so you don't have to
No,
worry about
it's-
ruining it.
It's like whose line is it anyways? Everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it was ripped off from the radio in the first place. Right,
Well, I
okay.
mean,
Correct.
I mean, the
Correct.
Universal Song Contest. As soon as you said that, I thought, oh, look, it's a Rick and Morty
It's
episode.
Eurovision. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Show us what you got.
But yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So on
right.
that note,
Sorry, I just had one thing, because of course we know from the Devil's Chord that the Doctor can sing.
Mm-hmm.
So
very true.
place your bets.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
he's
shoot
got
into
to.
a musical number.
He's
Of course
got
he
to.
Of course
Yeah.
you will.
Of course.
We shall come back to that then.
Yes.
Next
I
installment.
can't wait. Anyways, thanks for joining us on another journey through time and space with the Doctor. Remember, you can support the show by liking, subscribing on YouTube, or subscribing on Buzzsprout for as little as $3 a month. You can send us an email at 3dowho@gmail.com or a text from 3dowho.buzzsprout.com. The link is at the top of every episode's show notes. Please include, if you want us to respond, please include some information about which episode and your name and stuff
And
like
email
that. If you're gonna
contact
do it.
information. Yes, some way for us to
Yes,
contact
because-
you. Yes.
Yeah, because for some reason Buzzsprout doesn't include any of that information. It's just anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, follow us on Blue Sky at 3dowho.bsky.social or join us on Telegram group chat at 3dowho.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
I do have one final thing, because I think I'm going to save this one to just really push Eric over the edge as we go out.
Oh no.
Just
Go for
remember, Lux did show us that friendship truly is golden.
I want to shower you with praise.
Yeah.
With that, have a good month, everyone.
Bye now.